And in sports, Simba Sports Club striker John Boko has been named the best player of the week in the CAF Champions League quarter-final matches. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. First, the national news. The Minister of Land, Housing and Settlement Development, William Lukuvi, has directed for land that was taken by the government or individuals to be returned to previous owners who have not been paid compensation. Minister Lukuvi gave the directive in Parliament when tabling his ministry's 2021-2022 budget estimate of 11.5 billion shillings.
Kwa kuwa tatizo la fidia limekuwa sugu sana.
Because the issue on compensation has become a big problem, from now on there is no municipal council, institution or government sector or any person who will be allowed to take land from the people without compensation. My ministry is instructing all who are owed in compensation to be paid immediately.
Tulifanikiwa kutatua migogoro mingi sana na nikushukuru kwa hilo.
We were successful in resolving a lot of conflict in Nyakasangwe, Kunduchi, Bunju. The community had a meeting with 7 objectives, one being that the ministry was going to be charged for every piece of land that was given a title deed. How come today you are going against your word?
Tanzania kama nchi lazima sasa nchi ipimwe yote na ikipimwa yote migogoro hii itaondoka.
Tanzania as a country, its land must be surveyed, which will deal away with conflict.
Maeneo mengi yakipimwa na yakapimwa kwa uhakika, maana yake ni kwamba hata serikali itajipatia pesa kwa kutoza kodi.
Inspector General of Police Simon Siro has said that Kinondoni Police Region has the highest incidence of robbery, including that of using motorcycles. IGP Siro made the statement in Dar es Salaam when addressing chairmen of local governments, ward executives and community policing groups.
It has become apparent that in the whole country, Kinondoni region is leading in crime, and some of the common offences include mobile phone theft, breaking and entering, robbery, though armed robbery is on the decline. Zonal officers must work to ensure that there is peace and security in his zone. If crime is on the rise in his zone, then he has no reason to continue to be the leader. Same applies to local government leaders. We don't sleep because of communal policing. We do not do this so as to get promotion. We do it because we are patriotic.
President and Chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, has met with citizens who were cheated of millions of shillings by the Masterlife Microfinance Company and assured that they will get their money back and that legal action will be taken against the company.
First, we must find solution by paying people's money before making any other move. If I start chasing people away or take them to court while we still have the conflict, what will be its impact? Let's first pay them, then later on other procedures shall follow. Following data that I received from public attendance, they said that 39,000, where we asked Masterlife to give us actual number of people who gave their money, where the number reached up to 11,000. I took oath to provide justice, so I must protect and safeguard interests of my citizens at all costs.
Residents from Lupalilo Ward, Makete District, Njombe Region have commended construction of a new health center, the first one to be built by the government since the country got its independence. Lack of a health center caused many residents to seek health services from a condemned mission hospital located more than 10 kilometers from the ward.
wamerudi nyumbani kufanya, tuna miradi mingi ya kufanya na sisi tuzidi kuwaomba sana.
We have a lot of projects to accomplish and we are asking them that we continue to work together.
Moja na makabidhiano hayo tunaomba serikali yetu pendwa.
We're imploring our government to support us by giving us more buildings to meet the demand.
Kitendo cha jamii ya Wanalupalilo.
People of Lupalilo's contributions to construct this building is not meager.
More than 10,000 kilograms of various narcotics, including cocaine and heroin, that was to be transported to various areas in and out of the country, has been seized, with more than 1,483 traffickers arrested in operations implemented by the Anti-Narcotics Unit between January and May this year.
Jeshi la polisi limefanikiwa kukamata dawa za kulevya kama ifuatavyo. Heroin zimekamatwa kilogramu 70 na gramu 54.
The police force has confiscated illegal drugs as follows: heroin 70 kilograms and 54 grams, cocaine 405.5 grams, cannabis 7,506 kilograms and 45 grams, cat 3,333 kilograms and 0.83 grams, and 36 hectares of cannabis have also been destroyed.
33 na gramu 0.83. Vile mashamba ya bangi yaliyotekelezwa.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and East Africa Cooperation, Liberata Mulamula, has said Tanzania's foreign policy is to continue to oversee conflict in neighboring countries are addressed and security is strengthened in order to ensure there is peace and stability in the region. Ambassador made the remarks during a discussion on the security situation in North Mozambique.
Amani. If peace is at stake in neighboring countries, then Tanzania will not be at peace. We have been cooperating with other SADC countries in finding solutions towards issues of terrorism. I have advised them on matters that will help Mozambique restore its peace, but also we spoke on development matters. When poverty excels, rebel groups take that as an opportunity of recruiting youth who have lost hope in life.
Hope is that this roundtable is a first step in a sustained conversation addressing the challenges posed by the situation in Cabo Delgado, seen from a Tanzanian perspective. We also hope that there can be further discussions on how Tanzania best can prevent any spillover effects from the Cabo Delgado situation into the United Republic of Tanzania.
And that is the end of national news. International news follows next. Welcome back, and in international news. The court-martial in Uganda has released 17 out of 35 supporters of opposition leader Robert Chagulanyi, popularly known as Bobi Wine, who were arrested during the election campaigns last year.
The applicant should report to this court as and when required.
A ruling has been passed after the defense failed to present evidence against the 17, asking for more time to conduct the investigation. One of the conditions of the release is that they present themselves in court twice per month and not to leave Kampala. Charges against them are false. They have been released because of poor health.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has warned politicians against tribalism and hate speeches which can divide the nation. He gave the warning during his tour on development projects in Nairobi. The warning comes with preparations for election campaigns for the general election next year underway.
Ile mimi nitawaomba ni ya kwamba
what I'm calling for is maintain our peace, unity, love one another and cooperate as Kenyans. Let us stop segregating one another because of religions and tribes. let us all put in mind that we are all Kenyans and all have equal rights. Let us respect one another regardless of age. Aim of the government is to work for its people, and that is what I do and shall continue doing. If we continue working hard, issues of poverty will be history.
Hii mambo ya matusi munasikia, wacha waendelee. Tutaona kama hiyo ndio watu wanataka kuendelea na matusi, waendelee na matusi.
German Chancellor Angela Merkel has said that Germany would donate 30 million coronavirus vaccines for developing countries, as well as 100 million euros for COVAX. Moreover, the EU is focusing especially on Africa, strengthening that it will provide 1 billion euros to advance vaccine production in Africa so that Africa can produce 60% of the total vaccines by 2040. For this and more, I am joined by DW correspondent Thomas Parra from Berlin. Thomas, Chancellor Merkel promised to donate coronavirus vaccines to developing countries. What are the details and what is behind the move?
German Chancellor Angela Merkel said that until the end of the year, Germany will donate 30 million doses of coronavirus vaccines, which should preferably go to developing countries around the world. This is part of a wider EU donation of 100 million vaccine doses this year. Behind this move is the understanding that the pandemic can only be dealt with in a multilateral way, which explains Germany's support for COVAX, the international platform that's helping to distribute vaccines, with an additional 100 million euros. But it also has to do with reality on the ground, acknowledged by the German government that COVAX vaccines are not yet being delivered in sufficient quantities.
So what does all this mean for Africa?
There's actually a lot at stake for Africa. After all, it's not only about delivering vaccines to different parts of the world, but also about helping countries and regions to enhance their own production capacities. Chancellor Merkel stressed that the EU has put 1 billion euros aside to advance vaccine production in Africa. The goal is to make sure that Africa can produce 60% of the total vaccines used there by itself by 2040. Today, that figure is just 1%. And as Merkel emphasized, this goes well beyond the coronavirus. It also involves many vaccines that are needed in the region against other diseases such as malaria or Ebola.
So how is Germany's own vaccination program going on?
Well, after a very slow start, plagued by organizational problems, Germany's vaccination rollout is not only gathering speed, but it's also helping to reduce new infections. German authorities have repeatedly said that their goal is to offer every eligible person a vaccination by the end of September. That is, before Germany goes to the polls to elect a new chancellor. So far, over 40% of Germans have received at least one coronavirus vaccination, which is roughly over 33 million people. Meanwhile, and this is the more important statistic, around 15% of the population has now been completely vaccinated. Despite these statistics, the German government has warned that vaccine supplies are still limited, so they appealed for continued patience as people wait for an appointment.
All right, thank you so much, Thomas Parra, for those updates. And that is the end of international news. Business news follows next.
Tune in to Business Edition and meet business leaders and experts who'll keep you informed on business and economic developments taking place in the country, such as tourism, construction, energy, transport, mining, agriculture, communication, banking, real estate, and more. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m. only on Capital Television.
Welcome back, and in business news tonight. The government has entered into 2 loan agreements with African Development Bank worth $140 million for the Malagarasi power generation project, which is expected to produce 87 megawatts of electricity.
Lakini mradi huu ambao utatekelezwa.
The project of producing power from River Malagarasi is part of implementation of National Policy of Energy of 2015, along other prioritized government developments that were highlighted at 2025 National Development Plan.
Honored to represent the African Development Bank Group at this signing ceremony of the Malagarasi Hydropower Project loan agreements. I express our sincere appreciation to the government of the United Republic of Tanzania for the excellent partnership and collaboration with the African Development Bank Group.
Farmers in Babati District, Manyara region have said the price of 2,051 shillings for a kilo of sesame is unprofitable as they incur bigger production costs. The farmers expressed the concern at the sesame buying auction in Babati.
Lakini sisi kama wakulima tunaona bei hiyo ni ndogo sana kwa sababu
as farmers, the price is very small comparing to prices that are sold in streets. The difference is 51 shillings.
Come on.
The Deputy Minister of Works and Transport, Mwita Waitara, has directed the management of Air Tanzania Limited, ATCL, to make sure it utilizes effectively investment put by the government in the company so that it can operate profitably.
There are things that are beyond capacities, like breakdown of airplane, other institutions. Because they have enough experience in the field, they know how to handle such cases with immediate effect. Because we were just starting, we didn't have technological capabilities of handling the matters. However, right now we are really doing our best.
And that is the end of business news. Sports news follows shortly.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose to Lynn.
Welcome back, and in sports news. The Azam Sports Federation Cup defending champions Simba Sports Club have booked their place in this year's semi-finals after defeating Dodoma Jiji FC by 3-0. The Simbazi Giants will now face Azam FC in the semi-finals, in the semis rather, following a brace from captain John Boko and another from Medi Kagere. Now, moving on, Simba Sports Club striker John Boko has been named the best player of the week in CAF Champions League quarter-final matches played last weekend. Here's more on the story.
The towering striker was drafted back into the team to face Kaizer Chiefs after missing the quarter-final first-leg clash away in South Africa, where they lost 4-0 and was tasked with overturning the result. The 31-year-old did not disappoint as he almost drew level on aggregate for the Msimbazi Giants at Benjamin Mkapa Stadium, notching his first goal in the 24th minute, then added a second in the 56th minute, and Chiefs were left on the edge in the 86th minute when Clatous Chama made it 3-0. Thereafter, Simba experienced a number of missed chances as Boko and speedy winger Luis Mekison came close to making it 4-0. The best chance came with 2 minutes left to the final whistle when the Taifa Stars striker rattled the crossbar with a glancing header, but Amakosi held on to qualify with a 4-3 aggregate win.
A major Japanese newspaper has called for the cancellation of the Tokyo Olympics, warning that the Games pose a threat to public health and will place additional strain on the country's health service as it struggles to contain the latest wave of coronavirus. Here's more.
Liberal Asahi Shimbun, an official Olympic partner, urged the Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga to calmly and objectively assess the situation and decide on the cancellation of the event this summer. The Asahi is the first of several Japanese media organizations listed as official Tokyo 2020 sponsors to call for the Games to be scrapped less than 2 months before they are due to open. The Asahi, whose morning edition has a circulation of just over 5 million, pointed to widespread public opposition to the Olympics and criticized the International Olympic Committee, IOC, for its heavy-handed insistence that the Games will be held this summer, regardless of the coronavirus situation in Japan.
And Hansi Flick has signed a contract to take charge of Germany after the European Championships, succeeding Joachim Löw.
Flick, an assistant to Löw until 2014, led Bayern Munich to 6 trophies in the 2019-2020 season and also won this season's Bundesliga, but decided to leave the champions after 18 months in charge. He was long considered the favorite to succeed Löw. Flick has signed a contract until Euro 2024, which will be held in Germany. He said he's very happy to be able to work as national coach from autumn onwards. Really looking forward to it because he can see the great quality of the players, especially the young players in Germany. That's why they have every season to approach the upcoming tournaments with optimism. Löw, who had a contract until 2022, led Germany to the World Cup title in 2014 with Flick as his assistant, and to the 2017 Confederations Cup, but his team crashed out in the first round in the 2018 World Cup and have been struggling to perform at the highest level despite an overhaul. A 6-0 thrashing by Spain in the Nations League in November was Germany's worst defeat in competitive football.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin for tonight. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. Thank you for watching and good night.